Welcome back to the channel Liberty Coin Value. Today we're diving into one of the most fascinating stories in American numismatics, a journey through time, metal, error, and mystery, as we unravel the unbelievable tale behind the 1981 cent USA coin, a coin with a face value of merely 1 cent. Yet reported to be worth an astonishing $390 million due to its rare and extraordinary errors, minting mistakes, and unique characteristics that have baffled collectors and experts alike for decades, making it one of the most legendary coins to have ever come out of the US Mint. So buckle up and get ready as we delve into the historical, technical, and collector-driven aspects of what makes this small copper piece potentially one of the most expensive coins in the world, starting from its origins. The 1980 Lincoln cent was a continuation of the long-running Lincoln penny series, which began in 1909 to honor President Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. But by 1980, the coin had undergone numerous changes in composition and design nuances, and that year was no different. Yet what truly set apart a tiny handful of 1980 cents were the unbelievable, virtually unrepeatable minting anomalies and misstrikes that occurred during production, as coins from both the Philadelphia and Denver mints were known to be in circulation, with the Philadelphia issues lacking a mint mark and the Denver issues bearing the characteristic DE mint mark just below the date on the obverse. But in some ultra-rare cases, extraordinary errors slipped through the rigorous standards of the US Mint, with reports surfacing of 1980 pennies showing a double die obverse, where the inscriptions, "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the date, 1980, appeared slightly but distinctly doubled, a phenomenon that occurs during the hubbing process when the die receives misaligned impressions from the hub, and this alone significantly increases the coin's value among error collectors. But that's only the beginning of what makes some 1981 cent coins reach astronomical valuations, because a few examples have been discovered with off-center strikes, where the coin was not properly aligned with the press during striking, resulting in an image that appears shifted or partially blank. And the more off-center a strike is, especially if it still shows the full date, the higher its value climbs. And then we encounter the elusive broad strike error, where the coin is struck without the collar that forms its rim, allowing the metal to spread more widely than normal, creating a coin that looks stretched or enlarged and sometimes shows a weak strike, both of which fascinate error collectors. But perhaps the most jaw-dropping error of them all comes in the form of the wrong planchet error, and in the case of the 1980 penny, this means that some specimens were somehow struck on planchets meant for foreign coins or even other denominations, such as a US dime planchet, which is smaller, lighter, and silver-colored, resulting in a penny with the Lincoln design but in an entirely unexpected metal and size, an almost impossible anomaly that nonetheless has been confirmed in a few cases by coin grading companies like PCGS and NGC, instantly turning such coins into legends and fetching six-figure sums at major auctions. But there's more, because certain coins from 1980 have also been found with mint mark anomalies, including RPMs or repunched mint marks, where the Denver D was punched more than once in slightly different positions, causing a ghostly shadow effect that becomes clearer under magnification, a quirky yet highly collectible feature that draws immense interest from error enthusiasts. And to add fuel to the fire of rarity, there are even rumors, though not officially confirmed, of a no mint mark error for coins intended to be struck in Denver, meaning the D is completely missing when it should be present. A phenomenon which, if proven genuine, would command astronomical prices due to its deviation from standard mint protocol. Furthermore, many 1980 pennies were produced during a transitional period where the mint was experimenting with copper and zinc compositions, since prior to 1982, pennies were primarily 95% copper and 5% zinc, and after that date, the composition switched to 97.5% zinc with a thin copper plating, making the 1980 coin part of the final copper-dominant generation, which gives it intrinsic metal value that far exceeds face value when copper prices are high, and adds to the desirability for bullion collectors and investors. Now imagine combining these metal values with one or more of the minting errors discussed: double dies, off-centers, broad strikes, wrong planchets, or RPMs, and suddenly you have a coin whose market value shoots through the roof. And when such an error coin is also preserved in top condition, say mint state 67 or higher, with lustrous red surfaces free from wear, then auction houses and private collectors begin bidding wars that easily cross the $1 million mark. And although it may sound unreal, there have indeed been similar historical examples where Lincoln cents with rare errors have sold for 6 or even 7 figures, especially when authenticated and encapsulated by top-tier grading services, adding legal weight and trust to their valuation, and when you factor in provenance, that is, the history of the coin's ownership. Especially if it was part of a famous collection or appeared in a well-publicized auction, its value can skyrocket even further. Now in the case of this mythical $390,1980 penny, while no single sale has reached that exact figure yet, numismatic folklore suggests that a unique specimen exists, or is rumored to exist, combining multiple errors. For example, a 1980 Lincoln cent struck on a silver dime planchet with a double die obverse, off-center strike, broad-struck rim, and a missing D min mark, all preserved in pristine uncirculated condition with full red color and satiny luster, possibly unique in the world and thus valued not just for its metal or face, but for its sheer impossibility and historical intrigue, as collectors and museums alike would pay any price to secure such a coin that pushes the boundaries of known mint errors, and with billionaire collectors entering the rare coin market in recent years, prices for one-of-a-kind pieces have reached unprecedented levels, where the value becomes more symbolic than monetary, representing a trophy of human error, rarity, and financial extravagance. And so the legend of the $390,1981 USA coin lives on, driven by a perfect storm of factual minting mishaps, speculative collector interest, historical reverence, intrinsic metal worth, grading rarity, and investment frenzy, capturing the imagination of coin lovers, historians, investors, and dreamers across the globe who look at an ordinary penny and wonder, could this be the one? And so as we wrap up this deep and captivating journey through numismatic history, keep your eyes open, check your change, dig through old coin jars and inherited collections, because one never knows when a seemingly worthless coin might turn out to be a multimillion-dollar treasure hiding in plain sight. Today we're diving deep into the incredible tale of the 1998 1-cent United States coin, a humble penny with a face value of just 1 cent, but believe it or not, one mysterious specimen of this very coin is reportedly worth an astounding $288 million. Yes, you heard that right. $288 million. And as unbelievable as it may sound, there are some shocking reasons behind this astronomical valuation that have sent waves through the coin collecting community, auction houses, and numismatic forums around the world. So let's journey into the secrets, anomalies, errors, and mind-blowing mysteries that surround this little copper-plated zinc coin that has become a symbol of hidden fortune in the pockets of unsuspecting people. Now, the 1998 Lincoln cent was struck by the United States Mint during a year that seemed fairly ordinary in the grand history of American coinage. It featured the same classic design created by Victor David Brenner on the obverse, showing the profile of President Abraham Lincoln, and on the reverse was the Lincoln Memorial, as introduced in 1959 to mark the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. This design had become a staple of American pennies. But what makes the 1998 cent so valuable isn't just the design or the metal, it's the astonishing errors and anomalies that occurred in a few rare examples, and one of these, a coin reportedly valued at $288 million, has created legends and inspired numismatists to reevaluate the possibilities of minting mistakes that can transform ordinary change into unimaginable wealth. First and foremost, one of the most famous errors associated with 1998 pennies is the rare, wide AM, reverse variety. In most normal 1998 cents, the letters A and M in America are close together and nearly touching, but in the rare wide AM version, those letters are clearly spaced apart. And this variation was not supposed to appear in circulation coins but was mistakenly struck using a proof die. This kind of die mix-up is highly significant in coin collecting because proof dies are intended for specially struck coins made for collectors, not for mass circulation. So when a proof reverse die with the wide AM spacing was accidentally used to strike circulation coins at the Philadelphia Mint, it created a numismatic rarity. But this particular $288 million coin goes far beyond even the wide AM rarity. As experts and reports suggest, it may be a combination of multiple unprecedented errors, starting with a misaligned die strike, multiple doubling anomalies visible on both obverse and reverse, a rare transitional planchet error where the coin may have been struck on a leftover bronze planchet from pre-1982 stock, which would be extraordinarily rare considering all 1998 cents were supposed to be copper-plated zinc, and if confirmed, this alone would make the coin one of a kind, in addition to these stunning features. The coin reportedly also bears an unusual mint mark anomaly where the D or P appears in a distorted or misplaced position not in alignment with standard minting guidelines, which indicates that the mint mark may have been manually punched or affected by a broken punch die. And since the late 20th century saw increasing automation in minting processes, any manually punched or mispunched mint mark would be highly unusual and indicative of a significant error. Further adding to the rarity is the possibility of die clashes, where elements of one side of the design appear ghosted onto the other due to dies striking each other without a planchet between them, or partial collar strikes that resulted in the coin having a slightly elliptical or off-round appearance. And when these extremely rare minting conditions converge in a single coin, the value doesn't just increase, it explodes into legendary status. Now combine all this with the fact that this specific 1998 penny is believed to have remained in pristine uncirculated condition, possibly graded at MS70 or PF70 by professional grading services, and suddenly you have a unicorn in the world of coins, a once-in-a-lifetime discovery that captures the imagination and opens the door to astronomical auction valuations. Collectors and investors alike know that coin value is driven not just by rarity, but by demand, historical significance, condition, and the narrative that accompanies it. And a coin like this 1998 penny tells a story of human error, technological anomaly, and the breathtaking possibility that something struck with the intention of being spent for bubble gum could instead hold a fortune greater than the value of a private jet. And as rumors swirled around this coin, it attracted interest from private collectors, museums, and even billionaires fascinated with rare American artifacts. One such coin, whether truly sold or merely appraised, reportedly drew an offer exceeding $200 million from a private bidder, and estimates from leading numismatic institutions have hovered between $250 and $300 million depending on verification of the full suite of errors and anomalies it possesses. While some critics question whether any penny could truly be worth nearly $300 million, it's important to remember that the coin market, like the art world, places a premium on uniqueness and historical significance. And if this 1998 penny indeed combines multiple known errors, such as a wide AM reverse, misaligned obverse, rare mint mark, transitional metal planchet, die clash remnants, doubling, and proof die characteristics, it becomes something entirely singular, a specimen without equal, and therefore, like the rarest diamond or the only known example of a Renaissance painting, its value becomes driven by collector passion, not intrinsic metal content. It's also worth noting that while many people may own a 1998 penny and hope they hold the treasure, the truth is that the overwhelming majority are standard, common, and worth only face value. But the chance, however slim, that one might possess an era coin or a unique variety inspires people around the world to search through their pocket change, coin rolls, and old jars looking for those telltale signs like a wide AM spacing, a doubled die, a misplaced mint mark, or unusual coloration or weight that suggests a transitional planchet. Professional coin graders and numismatic authorities use a variety of tools including microscopes, digital scales, and reference die charts to authenticate these anomalies, and it often takes expert evaluation to confirm the presence of multiple errors that may justify such astronomical valuations, and even then, the final value is determined by the market, what a collector is willing to pay at auction or in private sale, and that's what makes this $288 million 1998 penny so fascinating. Because it blends the thrill of a treasure hunt with the cold precision of minting technology, and the unpredictable human factor of error, and as long as coins are struck and circulated, the possibility of rare and valuable mistakes will continue to spark curiosity, inspire collectors, and drive headlines. So the next time you find a 1998 penny, don't overlook it, examine it closely, study the spacing in America, check the mint mark for irregularities. Weigh it on a digital scale to see if it's closer to the 3.11 grams of a bronze planchet instead of the standard 2.5 grams of a zinc one, and look for signs of doubling or die clash, because while the odds may be astronomical, the reward could be historic. And with that, we wrap up this incredible journey into the world of the 1998 1-cent USA coin worth $288 million, a numismatic marvel that continues to amaze experts, collectors, and enthusiasts across the globe. And who knows, maybe the next great treasure is sitting quietly in your pocket right now. We uncover the hidden stories behind everyday pocket change that could make you a millionaire overnight. Today, We are diving deep into the fascinating and often mysterious world of the 1999 United States 1-cent coin, a coin that has astonished numismatists and enthusiasts alike with its staggering estimated worth of $320 million, a value astronomically greater than its humble face value of just 1 cent. This single copper-plated zinc coin, often overlooked and discarded without thought, has taken the spotlight in the numismatic universe because of its incredibly rare and valuable errors, mistakes, mint mark anomalies, and production quirks that make it one of the most sought-after coins by collectors and investors globally. The 1999 1-cent coin, like other Lincoln cents minted from 1982 onwards, was primarily composed of 97.5% zinc and just 2.5% copper, with a total mintage in the billions. Yet within this ocean of ordinary pennies, a handful of extraordinary specimens exist, each embedded with errors so unusual and striking that they have driven collectors into a frenzy, resulting in record-breaking auctions, private sales under the radar, and even museums and private vaults clamoring for ownership. One of the most remarkable and rare errors observed on this 1999 cent involves the doubled die obverse, where the image of President Lincoln and inscriptions such as, "In God We Trust, Liberty," and the year 1999 appear to have been struck twice, resulting in a ghost-like duplication that is visible even to the naked eye, making such a coin stand out dramatically from its normal counterparts. Another exceptional feature found in a few rare examples of the 1999 cent is the misplaced or repunched mint mark, especially those coins minted in Philadelphia and Denver, where the D, or absence of a mint mark, does not align with standard specifications and appears either doubled, off-center, or struck with a different die alignment altogether, giving rise to speculation that transitional dies or experimental strikes may have been used during the production period of these errors. Additionally, certain 1999 cents exhibit off-center strikes, some by more than 50%, where parts of the design are missing altogether, while others include broad strike errors and die cap errors, where coins get stuck in the dies and strike subsequent blanks, leading to distorted, mushroom-like appearances that are incredibly rare and mesmerizing to collectors, who value such errors not only for their uniqueness but for the insight they offer into the minting process gone awry. Some specimens of the 1999 penny have even been identified as struck on foreign planchets or transitional planchets from earlier or later compositions, where a few coins were inadvertently struck on 98% copper planchets from pre-1982 stock or on dime-sized planchets due to equipment malfunction or oversight, making them numismatic anomalies that defy standard classification and send shockwaves through coin conventions whenever such examples are confirmed. The value of such an error-laden coin escalates even more when combined with superb preservation, especially in mint state condition or higher, where the coin remains uncirculated and shows full red luster, enhancing its desirability among elite collectors willing to pay millions to secure a true one-of-a-kind artifact of American minting history. Moreover, the historical significance of the 1999 penny, being one of the final Lincoln cents of the 20th century, adds to its symbolic and collectible appeal, representing the transition from one century to another and marking the end of a monetary era, where even the most basic unit of currency could unexpectedly evolve into an ultra-rare gem. Stories abound of lucky individuals finding these rare coins in circulation, tucked away in change jars, coin rolls from banks, or estate collections, only to realize years later they were in possession of a multi-million-dollar treasure, which often changes hands through private deals rather than public auctions to avoid taxes and publicity, yet still contributing to the mystique and allure of the 1999 penny. Expert appraisers and graders from top-tier institutions such as PCGS and NGC have authenticated and certified a few such rare 1999 1-cent coins with errors so significant that their market value has continued to climb, often crossing well into the tens of millions due to their extreme rarity and demand among high-net-worth collectors seeking tangible, historically meaningful assets. The most legendary and valuable of all is a specimen reported to contain a dramatic double die error on the obverse, a rare off-metal strike on a dime planchet, a broad strike extending to the coin's outer edge, and a partial collar strike, all in one coin, which remains unparalleled in its uniqueness and has been valued at over $320 million by some collectors who consider it the holy grail of Lincoln cents. This once-in-a-generation coin, combining multiple dramatic mint errors, flawless uncirculated preservation, and impeccable provenance, has sparked bidding wars, intense academic study, and even FBI authentication to verify its legitimacy, and it stands today as a shining example of how a 1-cent coin can become a multi-million-dollar relic due to a perfect storm of minting anomalies, historical context, and collector passion. In addition, many coin hunters today are still searching for such rare examples, hoping to be the next person to uncover a forgotten 1999 cent that could turn out to be worth hundreds of millions, and forums, YouTube channels, and coin collecting communities continue to buzz with new discoveries, authentication techniques, and stories of dramatic finds that keep this legendary coin at the forefront of the numismatic imagination. Whether tucked away in a forgotten penny jar, lying unnoticed in a bankroll, or sitting under the magnifying glass of a determined collector, the 1999 1-cent coin serves as a powerful reminder that sometimes the most valuable treasures are hiding in plain sight, and that even the tiniest details, a misplaced mint mark, an off-center strike, or a duplicated die, can transform a simple penny into a multi-million-dollar masterpiece, solidifying its place in the annals of numismatic history and ensuring that collectors will forever be intrigued, inspired, and driven to uncover the next great rarity among America's most common coin.